Welcome back. Remember, we got this wood stove over here. I just brought in some more firewood. When I want to go to feed the fire, see what pops out right away. If you open your door real slow, sometimes you get a better draft going. But you see the smoke coming out. Now, that's not bad in here, but on occasion I leave that door open for a few minutes and it really gets it stoking, gets me a nice draft going. Well, I want to do some stain, some paints, different projects in here, woodworking, some dust, obviously some dust. So I want to put a vent in, and it's an exhaust vent, and I want to locate it right up there. Instead of having it up in the loft where I can't see and reach it too easy, I figure right here on this side of the I-beam will work fine. And so the one I chose will fit between a stud bay, and it is a 12 1/4, I believe. It's 12 plus the head of the screw, so I need at least a 12 1/4 square, and that should fit in fine. What I've got is this is a one-piece unit. So your louvers are on the outside. They're stainless steel. They have a weather strip attached. There's one both here on the side and along the blade. So this should keep a lot of the wind out. And this was less money than the one I got from Home Depot, which was a two-piece design, a louver plus your, it's an attic vent. And this I thought would be better for our situation. And stainless steel, I could probably spray paint it from the outside so it'll look nicer. But as this stands up like that, the motor housing is already attached to it. And you hardwire it right here in the back. It gives you a cord. I wish it was longer. It's only a 6-footer. Wish it was a 10. Get some hardware and some wire holder. You also get this switch controller. And it's got, upside down, it's got your on off shutter fan and a fan speed and a humidistat. You can set your temperature 32, you can lock it on. Bypass below 32, you can lock it on, which I probably will do. And in the summer months, you can set it up to 130. So I probably could, because it's high up, I could set it at, say, 100, maybe 90 or 100, and have that thing turn on to exhaust the garage if it gets warm in here. I don't have to use it because this plugs in and plugs in. So I could plug it directly in the wall or right in the switch. So I'll consider to, figure that out after the fact. Our panel box is over here. Ideally, if the wire just drooped down, and I could have it either go into a switch, or maybe I put 14.2 right in the wall and hardwire it down. I'll figure that out after. But today, we've got about 12 degrees out. It is snowing lightly. Not a good day to be outside, but I want to get this project done. We got a snowstorm coming up the East Coast here, coming tomorrow, so I definitely don't want to do it over the weekend. So I'll take today and do it. Now this can be mounted from the outside, and then I trim it out, or I'm considering mounting it from the inside. Just cut my 12 1/4 inch opening, slide it through. This is 2 inches from here to here, and then bolting it on just with some screws. And so if I do that, we've got, I can't remember if this is 1/2 inch or 5/8. I think it might be 5/8 plywood. And on the outside of that, we've got Tyvek, and then we've got 3/4 inch cedar beveled tongue and groove siding. So I think I can cut it from the inside. I can either use a Sawzall, jigsaw, probably more like a Sawzall, because we're not going to have much room to get a saw on the sides. So, but I want to make the opening pretty nice if I can. I'll get a level, pencil, square, whatever, get up there and get started. So I'm going to get my tools up there. I'm going to mark out the 12 1/4 square. Go ahead and cut that out. I'll use a probably a spade bit in the corner, and then a Sawzall and the oscillating tool to clean up the corners pretty good. So I'll get started. I'll put that on time lapse. It'll be hard to get a camera up in there and not get it in the way. All right, now we got our opening cut. I'm going to get some caulking. Might use some through the roof, whatever I got here. And locate some screws. We've got probably some sheet metal screws. It came with something for hardware. I'll get that out. We'll get it up there and get it mounted. Not sure how well you can see that, but it worked out pretty nice. I cut the opening slightly larger than the square, and so from the outside, it sticks out past the siding about a 1/2 inch, about 3/4 of an inch. The trim on the outside, I could box it, or it's so close that I could just caulk it. The louvers flip open, and you know, we shouldn't see any problem with moisture. We've got several inches down below the soffit, and so I probably just use some cedar and trim that out like a picture frame. I'll wait till the spring on that. This is a gable end wall under an overhang, so it's not going to have you know, hammered with any water or anything. But what I want to do now is the depth of the fan is about 6 inches from the back of the motor to that flat plate that we fastened. I put that in a bed of caulk and put a whole bunch of screws in that, so they're short enough that they don't go all the way through the siding. Now I want to cut 2 2x4s and box that out and make it flush with the wall so that I can go ahead and do my drywall and cut a square opening. And maybe to finish off the edges later, I could bend a couple little J-channel style trim out of aluminum and cap that off so the edge of the drywall won't be visible. I don't think it matters that much, but it's a good looking install up there. Now we've got to run the wiring down. The wire that come with it is 6 feet, and we're up about 11 feet. And I'm not sure how I want to get to the switch yet, how I want to control it. So we might as well just put it on pause and not be able to operate the unit right now, because I've got about 20 sheets of drywall in the way to get to that panel box. So I think I'll cut 2 2x4s to fit crossways and box that fan in. Then I can insulate that wall, the last piece there. And then the upper wall, gable end drywall is finished. We'll come back to this electrical prior to putting the insulation in down here. But thanks for watching. It's just a gable end vent. These are used for greenhouses. They are used for attics, whatever, but it's got that humidistat. So I used to have an attic vent in my old home, and I set the thermometer on that, the thermostat, for about, I think, 110. And in the summer months, in July and August, I could hear that running up there. And I felt it being cooler in the house. So I think it exhausted the moisture and heat out of the attic. So this should work fine for our smoke from our wood stove, which is right over here. And if I can have it where it's convenient and flick it on, if I want to do some painting projects out here in the garage or whatever, anything with fumes, if they're flammable fumes, I won't have the wood stove going. But if I want to do a project in the garage and I don't want the smell to get into the house, I can flick that fan on. So thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. There it is. I boxed it in. I drilled a hole. I'm going to bring my wire down the wall. So it's going to be concealed in there. Now I can insulate that. I'm all excited. Get this thing going here.